Hello everyone, I hope your Holi went well. It's time to get back to studies. My name is Pooja Dwivedi, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you see the description on my channel and thereafter the content that I produce here. Once you're confident, please do subscribe, share with as many people as possible. Now, let's start with this particular series that is going to deal with your defense related aspects for UPSC. I've already covered ISRO and space related events. Now I'm going to cover defense related aspects. Agni 5 was so talked about. What is it? Agni 5 is basically a long range missile. The Agni family consists of missiles that can move over from 700 kilometers to 500 kilometers and even beyond. And this was so much in the news because it is fitted with the latest as in since the last few decades, this technology has been developing and it has been now finally fitted with the MIRV technology. So what is this technology? We are going to talk about that as well. Agni 5 is indigenously built by DRDO. The plan to develop Agni 5 has been in question since 2007, and the family of Agni missiles, it has been in the arsenal of Indian Armed Forces since the 1990s. Do not worry about notes. It will be provided through my Telegram channel that is by the name of Pooja Dwivedi UPSC. If you have any queries, you can talk to me on my Instagram, follow me on my threads. So this particular variant has been equipped with the latest MIRV technology. Now, why do I say latest? Because it is still being developed properly. Since the 1970s, many countries are trying to have it. USA has it, USSR, and now, of course, that's Russia. It has it, China has it, and even UK has it. Pakistan has been trying since many years to develop this. Now, India is a part of this elite group. It was first developed at least 5 decades ago. In 1970s, it started developing. But what is this technology? It allows Agni 5 to launch multiple warheads all at once. That means simultaneously, it can provide explosives at different locations. Generally, our missiles used to provide one explosive at a time, but Agni 5, as unofficially we know, can provide 3 to 4 explosives. All right, this is unofficial because officially anything hasn't been said about it. Is like this is MIRV technology. If anything has been said, but nothing has been told about how many warheads it can provide. But as we know, it's 3 to 4. Many are saying that it can provide up to 12. See, MIRV technology is a very secretive technology. Generally, we do not open about it. We do not open ourselves about it so that we can have a strategic upper hand over countries such as Pakistan and China. So last time the Agni Series 5 was tested, it provided that yes, it has been successfully tested with MIRV technology. But since 2012, we are conducting experiments with this particular technology. In 2012 only, it was said that it will be fitted with MIRV technology. Now, the Agni family consists of medium to intercontinental versions of Agni missiles. Agni 1 is 700 kilometers. For Agni 5, it is 5000 kilometers and also above. So remember, because data can be asked from here. Moving on to the next one, we have Agnipath scheme. Under it, people who are recruited are known as Agniveers. So this scheme came into existence in 2022. It provides an opportunity for recruitment in the Indian Armed Forces, such as the Indian Army, the Navy, and the IAF. And people who are engaged here, they are for contractual period, for 4 years of contract. And here it is including the 6 months of training. So remember, it includes the 6 months of trainings, not addition. Okay, 6 months of training is involved over here. And people here were making a lot of noise about it being a contractual opportunity, not a permanent opportunity. But the government says that by the end of 4 years, approximately 25% of the recruits can become permanent employees in the Indian Armed Forces. It also opens doors for recruitment for women as Agniveers in the Indian Armed Forces and the Navy, because the Army started recruiting women soldiers into its corps of military police since 2019. There are many entitlements that are provided. For example, monthly remuneration is provided for like 30,000 rupees to 40,000 rupees. Thereafter, the Seva Nidhi contributory package, which provides a basic lump sum amount in the end of by the end of 4 years. After 4 years, through the Seva Nidhi contributory package, Agniveers will get rupees 11.71 lakh, which also includes interest and exempted income tax. So this is something that you have to remember. The Seva Nidhi consists of 30% of contribution from Agniveer's salary and a similar amount by the government. Now, if any person dies as Agniveer, then they get around, the family gets around 1 crore rupees, which also includes, remember, includes the Seva Nidhi package and pay for the rest of the services. Disability relief is also there of rupees 44 lakh, up to, remember, up to. Okay, gratuity is not available for Agniveers. Moving on, there are many advantages. First of all, we get youthful army. Also, they get an opportunity to work with the best army in the world. So this is a take and give kind of opportunity. Now let's talk about Akash missiles. India has become the first to target 4 aerial objects simultaneously, all at once, from one single unit. And Akash is something you have to remember. It is India's first indigenously produced short range surface to air missile. What are the kinds of keywords you have to remember? India's first indigenously produced short range. What is the range? 20 up to 25 kilometer. This is Earth, and up to 25 kilometers Akash can go. And you have to remember that it is short range. Why am I repeating it? Because this could be asked as medium range or long range. So it is developed under the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. Until it only we have Prithvi, we have Trishul, and we have Akash. Okay, so remember Prithvi, Trishul, and Akash. These three are developed under the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. By whom? By DRDO. And this is capable of carrying nuclear missiles as well. This is supersonic in nature. If I talk about supersonic, that means when we talk about supersonic, hypersonic, subsonic, it is all in comparison to speed of sound. So it has a speed of Mach 2.5. So let us see Mach numbers. Subsonic is when any object has a speed of less than Mach 1.0. Then we have transonic, that is of course 1.0. Supersonic greater than 1.0, and hypersonic is greater than 5. Russia's Zircon, this was so much in the news, you must remember, this is hypersonic missile, and this was employed by Russia recently. Moving on, let's talk about the Astra missile, which is able to engage objects beyond visual range, and this is air to air missile. That means it can engage targets up to 37 kilometers. So this is what we know as beyond visual range. Okay, it is also indigenous in nature. It can engage and destroy objects that are supersonic aerial. Also, it has been developed by Defense Research and Development Laboratory, Research Center Imarat, and Defense Research and Development Organization. Moving on, let's talk about the features of Astra missile. This is a single stage, because question could be asked, this is a dual stage. No, this is a single stage. Solid propellant. One more thing you have to remember, that it is solid propellant, not liquid. Why am I repeating it? Because these are the things that escapes our minds. So please do not worry about that. It has a mid-course initial guidance system. It is designed for high agility, accuracy, and also reliability, ensuring a high single shot kill probability. That means if it shoots once, it is going to give you confidence that yes, it has killed. It can carry a warhead or explosives, as we know. It's something that can kill, of 15 kg. It can achieve a speed of over Mach 4. So remember, what is it? It is supersonic, because after that 5, more than 5 is hypersonic. Yeah. Astra can be integrated with many fighter aircraft such as Sukhoi 30 Mk1, Mirage 2000. All these has to be remembered. Now, LCA Tejas is the lightest, the smallest. Now, yes, these are keywords. One must remember lightest, smallest, tailless, and this can be omitted. If this is omitted or this is distorted, your statement will become wrong. So mind you, it is lightest, smallest, also tailless, multi-role, again supersonic fighter aircraft, and it can be used for air-to-air operations, air-to-surface operations, for precision guiding weapons, air-to-air refueling capability. Everything can be used. It has a maximum payload capability of 4000 kg, my god, and it can achieve a speed of Mach 1.81. These things you have to remember, because these could be of course asked. So it has been developed by the Aeronautical Development Agency under the Light Combat Aircraft Program. Since 1984, the government has been working towards this. So remember this. Moving on, Tejas Mark 1A completes maiden flight, first delivery soon, and it is going to replace MiG-21. We are going to talk about MiG-21 as well. Let's talk about C-295 transport aircraft. This is India's, again, I am going to emphasize upon the keywords. First ever, first keyword, make in India, aerospace program in private sector. That means we are engaging private sector for Make in India project when it comes to aerospace. This is the first time ever. So Airbus is going to supply us the initial 16 aircraft carriers, transport aircraft in not carriers, beg your pardon, it is a transport aircraft. That means it can transport people and of course weapons as well in flyaway condition. That means reusable condition from civil Spain, okay, by 2025. But after that, the 40 aircrafts that we are going to get is going to be both manufactured and assembled within India. So it is going to create a lot of opportunity for employment, for upskilling, etc., etc. And this is a collaboration between Airbus and Tata Advanced System. One thing you have to remember, guys, these kind of questions do come. So do not take these very small but excessively impactful statements and keywords. Moving on, it is a transport aircraft. It has a payload capacity of 5 to 10 tons. Remember, the capacity can be asked. It can carry up to 71 troops or 50 paratroopers. I could have written 100 if I had to ask a question. It is ideal for both tactical and remote missions. It has the capability to fly off from rough terrain. Okay, it cruises at 260 knots with a short takeoff and land, and it supports air-to-air refueling for both fixed wing aircraft and helicopters. Moving on, let's talk about MQ-9B UAV. That means unmanned aerial vehicle. This is a high altitude long endurance UAV. Why do we call it long endurance? Because it can live for up to 40 hours. More than 40 hours operation can be undertaken in all types of weather. It has two variants. For Navy, we can use Sea Garden. For Air Force, we can use Sky Garden. And who manufactures it? It is manufactured by US's General Atomics Aeronautical System. Okay, so you have to remember it. Also, the range is 5,500 nautical miles in all weather conditions, because these can be asked. So you must remember it. Okay, let's move ahead and talk about K. Vijay Raghavan Committee, which was formulated in order to say what kind of reforms we can do for DRDO. All right, and this mandate came, of course, from the perspective of Atmanirbhar Bharat in the defense sector. How can we develop our own high-end technologies, attract and retain high-quality manpower, project-based workforce systems, strict performance accountability? All these has to be taken care of. Then we have Pralay ballistic missile. What is Pralay ballistic missile? This has actually been compared to China's Dongfeng 12 and Russia's Iskander missile. So if a question comes, you have to remember about Pralay here. Other things are that it has a strike range of 150 to 500 kilometers. Payload capacity is good, 350 kgs to 700 kgs. It is quasi-ballistic surface to surface missile. What is it? Quasi-ballistic. That means it can be used for exploding areas, surface to surface, not surface to air, not surface to air to air, but you have to remember surface to surface. It can move continents. This is its part. Okay, and propulsion system is comprising of solid propellant rocket motor with advanced guidance system. Not very important, just remember solid propellant it has. It is one of the biggest contenders. Once it gets into operation, it is set to become army's longest, remember keywords, armies, whose armies, because we are using it for surface to surface. That is why army's longest range surface to surface missile. Let's move ahead, talk about other things. This will work alongside BrahMos supersonic cruise missile. Pralay will be a key component of India's rocket force and critical acquisition. If we talk about India's acquisition of Pralay is driven by the deployment that is being done by China and Pakistan. So we are going to, completely annihilate if ever comes, comes a time where we have to do it. So now let's talk about Project 17A frigate. Vindhyagiri, which is a Nilgiri class frigate, has been built at Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited, Kolkata. This you have to remember because manufacturers are asked, which is itself a PSU under Ministry of Defense. Other Project 17A frigates include Nilgiri, Himgiri, Taragiri, Udagiri, Dunagiri, and Vindhyagiri. Okay, so remember the Giris because it could be asked which one of the following is or are, a part of Project 17A. Now let's talk about Tapas UAV, which is a tactical airborne platform for aerial surveillance beyond horizon 201 or Tapas BH201. It is a medium altitude, long endurance. Remember, medium. Keywords here are medium, long endurance. It has been developed by Aeronautical Development Establishment of DRDO, which is entitled to do the LCA Tejas only, and designed on the lines of General Atomics. This Tapas UAV, you have to remember, has been designed along the lines of General Atomics MQ-1 Predator, which is employed by the USA. Okay, and it is medium altitude, long endurance. It means to say that it can work on many areas of altitudes for 18 hours. Okay, it's a drone, unmanned aerial vehicle. The altitude is 28,000 feet. It also has night flying capabilities. These kind of things are asked in your UPSC prelims. Moving on, let's talk about Tomahawk missile. Australia is going to buy and has bought USS Tomahawk cruise missile in order to take care of China if ever comes a time, because it is an island country. It has to ensure that its waters are secure. So it's a long range precision guided weapon. It can be launched from both ships and submarines. That is why Australia has taken it. It can fly at low altitudes. That means it cannot be caught on radar. And range is 2400 kilometers. Accuracy is 5 meters. It can either carry conventional or nuclear warheads, because a question could be asked that it can only carry nuclear warheads or only conventional warheads. No, both are okay for it. MiG-21, let's talk about it, because LCA Tejas is going to replace it by 2025. LCA Mark 1, which has been successfully tested recently at Bengaluru. So MiG-21 is also known as flying coffin. Do you know that? Flying coffin. Why does it have this particular name? Because of the crash rate. It's very high. Mikoya Gurevich MiG-21. Basically, it's a supersonic jet fighter. You remember it's supersonic. Actually, India adopted MiG-21 in 1963, used for many wars in 1965, 1971, and 1999. But Russia ceased the production in 1985. Now, of course, India had the right to build it in our own country. That is why we continued building it. But now it will be replaced by light combat aircraft Tejas Mark 1A. It's an Indian fighter aircraft which is developed by Aeronautical Development Agency, and the manufacturing has been done by HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, which is a public sector company. Okay, small, it is lightweight and single engine. It has delta wing aircraft. Second, it is the second supersonic fighter jet developed by HAL. The first one was HAL HF-24 Marut. This you have to remember. All right. So thank you so much for watching this particular class. I hope you liked it, and make sure that you like it, you share it, so that I can do well on my algorithms. Thank you.